declaration of war. Declaration of war. And this time it is real. This war declaration is coming from the Turks. The Turks right now ready with their weapon to launch an attack to whomever they see as a threat to the Muslim, especially the Palestinian people. Now, why I'm saying this? Well, take a look at what Erdogan said in the last few days since this conflict started. This massacre of the Zionist Israelis started on October 10th. He said to Joe Biden, when Joe Biden sent these two warships in the Mediterranean, he said to him, he called out Joe Biden by name. Erdogan called out Joe Biden and his administration by name, asking them why. Why warships? Why? What is your purpose? What are you doing? What you are up to? Why you send warships? To kill, to massacre the Palestinians? Is this the reason you're sending these warships? And then also we have seen Erdogan recently, he actually canceled his trip to Israel, to the Zionist state. Well, what happened this time then? Why I'm talking about this particular topic and saying that there is a declaration of war from the Israeli side, from the Turkish side. Why? What happened this time? Well, the obvious answer to that question is that this time Turkey, they showed the middle finger. Okay, the middle finger. You know what middle finger means? Google it if you don't know. To the Israelis. They showed the middle finger to the Zionist regime of the Israeli state. And how that happened? Well, take a look what is happening right now. I'm not actually playing this video for you so that you can see and hear yourself what Erdogan is trying to say here. And I'm going to be actually vanishing myself. Read the subtitles because these subtitles are very, very, very important.
Ve Hamas bir terör örgütü değil, topraklarını ve vatandaşlarını koruma mücadelesi veren, evet, bir kurtuluş ve bir mücahitler grubu. Değerli kardeşlerim.
Okay, so I'll be playing the rest of the video in a second because there is something even more interesting and quite honestly surprising happened. So I'll play that in a second. But let's unravel a little bit about what he said. Basically, as I said, this is showing Israel a middle finger in his parliament. I do not know what they call it in Turkey, their parliament, but this is where people watch from all over the world. This is the place where people are paying a lot of attention because this is serious. He's not saying this thing in a rally, in a political rally. He's saying this in his parliament, in front of hundreds and thousands of people, of his MPs and all of this opposition party and the members. But what is even more important here is that he's addressing the entire nation. And not only that he's addressing the entire nation, he's also addressing you and me from this pulpit where he's standing, that I show a middle finger to Israel, do whatever you want. Why? Because this is, guy, a big deal. Supporting Hamas is the core. If you want to get under the skin of the Zionist, just say that I do not condemn the attack. If you remember Piers Morgan coming on his show every single time, do you condemn the attack? Do you condemn the attack? Do you condemn the attack? October 7th. He would never stop. This guy is so relentless. And so now Erdogan is showing a middle finger to people like Piers Morgan, and more importantly, showing the entire state of Israel. Do whatever you want. This is a declaration of war because Israel, they do not want the existence of Hamas in Palestine. They would do whatever it takes to destroy this resisting movement. Now, obviously, if you're living in the UK or in the States, do not say you support Hamas because then you'll be in jail. In the UK, you'll be in 10 years jail, in the jail for 10 years. If you're in the States, I do not know. They will get you arrested. So don't say I support Hamas. He can say it because it's his country. He's a president there. But don't say it. He is showing this middle finger to the Zionist regime. Declaration of war. Do whatever it takes. Do whatever you want, Israel, because this is indirectly asking Israel, come fight with me. I support the enemy you're fighting. Hamas, your enemy, I'm with them. And they are not terrorists. They are mujahideen. He used the word mujahideen. Very, very interesting. Because these kind of words are being used only in the book of Hadith. Rasulullah will describe people, the believers who will be fighting in the cause of Allah Azza wa Jal as mujahideen. He used the exact same word. That this group is not terrorists, far from it. Rather, they're mujahideen, they're the liberation group. They're fighting for the freedom of the Palestinian. That's exactly what he's saying in this video. So this is a declaration of war. What should Israel do? Well, of course, he canceled the trip. But can you imagine how embarrassing, how shameful it will be for the Zionist state if they still want to see him? Can you imagine down the path in, let's say, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or even after 1 year, everything becomes normal and they still, the Zionist Netanyahu, wants to see Erdogan? Can you believe it? How embarrassing that will be? Because Erdogan, he doesn't care. But Netanyahu, if he doesn't do anything right now and speak out against Netanyahu, then it will be coming across as a very weak leader. The good brothers in Israel, the Jew brothers and sisters who are not supporting this Zionist regime, they would not like Netanyahu. Regardless, obviously they are against him and they're protesting against him. But now can you imagine, Netanyahu is being challenged by Erdogan, and these people who are good Jew, good Yahudi, what they will think about Netanyahu? Oh, you are weak, we knew it. Now you cannot even answer Erdogan. Go and answer him. You're killing innocent. You coward. You're killing these innocent Palestinian children and women and elderly people and men who are not armed. You coward. You're coward. You go and fight Erdogan. This is what they will tell him. You go and fight Erdogan. IDF, you're coward. You can kill innocent people, the Palestinian, but you do not have the gut. You do not have the ball to fight the Turks. That's how they will come across now. We must not stop, dear brothers and sisters, our struggle to free Palestinians. We need to do it peacefully. If you're living in the West, wherever you are, do it peacefully. But we should never stop. This war might stop down the road. Maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, 5 months, it will stop. But we should not forget what they are doing. 6,000 Palestinians are being killed in the last 1 week. 6,000. We should not forget and we should not stop. We should protest and continue collectively our struggle. That's the message that I want you to take home. Do not forget what they're doing. Do not go on YouTube and search for something else once this whole war is over. Remember every single thing they have done to our brothers and sisters, the children in Palestine. If I forget this murder, this genocide, wallahi, on the day of judgment, we will be in big trouble. Big trouble. Because they are our brothers and sisters. They are part of us. All the Muslims around the world, they're part of each of one of us. So do not forget this struggle. Continue on. Peacefully do whatever it takes to raise your voice, address this issue to your government. If you're in UK, US, Canada, doesn't matter. Continue this struggle. Erdogan canceled his Israel trip. I don't know what these people will do down the road. Israel, they're so shameless. Erdogan is direct in his attack on the Israeli Zionist regime. He's very, very direct. He's calling them out many times. He called out the US Joe Biden administration many times. But look how shameless they are. They do not have the gut to kick Erdogan out of NATO. He is telling NATO, he actually spoke the other day, and he said to NATO, now, before I tell anything more, I'm not a big supporter of him. You may agree with me, you may not, but I don't really want to give him a blank check. Whatever he says, I support. No, I'm not like that. But what he is doing is unprecedented. Nobody from the Arab world give me one example of one leader who condemned Israel the way he did, who took the side of Israel's foe, Hamas, like he did. Show me one leader. Now, there is a hadith, Rasulullah said, the best jihad, afdalu jihad, is a word against a tyrant. Of course, his word is also a form of a jihad, because Turkey, in the spectrum of the entire world power, is very, very little tiny dot. Turkey can do nothing. And on top of all of this, no Muslim country is willing to support him, except maybe Qatar or some other country. But Turkey is nothing. Anybody can come from European countries, France, Germany, and get rid of Turkey once and for all. They can flatten Turkey within a matter of maybe minutes. Yes, Turkey has great military. I'm not saying they do not have, but the power these Westerners they have is unfathomable. Of course, now we know Russia is siding with Turkey, so that's a good thing. But other than that, it is not going to be something Turkey can stand. The force is overwhelming. And yet he is saying these words that I give you the middle finger. I side with Hamas, do whatever you want. Wallahi, this is exactly the message he's sending to the Israelis, the Zionist state. Come, you want to fight with me? Come. We'll fight. No problem. No problem. I call the Hamas as Mujahideen from Allah Azza wa Jal. I call them a liberation group. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Israel? So Israel also knows, and I quoted this U.S. military general. He's a veteran. He said, if you fight with the Turks, they're going to fight you like hell. Obviously, we do not use the word hell because it's not something we should use. There is nothing like hell on earth. But this is the word he used, like hell. If you fight Turks, go ahead and fight. They're going to fight you like hell. Means you're going to be destroyed. The Turks, they will not stop until they put an end to you first. And they will all die, no problem. So Turkey's relation with Russia is going to actually be more and more stronger, and with China, because Turkey now knows they cannot side with United States. They never sided with the United States. U.S. put sanctions on Turkey unfairly, unjustly during the Trump's administration. They overcame that. Then they sanctioned Turkey again, and then Turkey was struggling with the inflation rate in their country. The economy was collapsing. The food price was going up, through the roof. And yet he said, I'm not going to be using interest, riba-based economy in my country. Subhanallah, wallahi, this is the only leader in the world who said no riba-based economy in my country. Otherwise, his Turkish economy right now would be so powerful, they will be one of the richest countries, top 3 richest country in the world. But he said, no, I do not need riba money. And his people, the Turkish, they paid for it. They used to make less, but spend more because of the inflation. But he did not care. He said, and I'm going to do it. So if none of this could sink Turkey's economy, what do you think will? Nothing. Because if Allah is going to be helping you, nobody can destroy you. But if Allah wants to destroy you, you'll be a poor country. All your history, throughout history, you'll be a poor country. Nobody will care. But Turks are not like that. Again, I'm not saying I support Turkey and Erdogan blindfoldedly. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what I have heard and what I have heard from him. I'm not quoting anybody. Obviously, Jan Bremer, he's a military analyst, and he basically said that he is not surprised that Erdogan canceled his trip to Israel. Would he cut ties with Israel once and for all? I mean, who cares? After he sided with Hamas, it's actually Israel who should cut ties with him. I mean, can you imagine he's going to do business with Israel, and Israel knows this guy supports my enemy. How would that be for Israel? An embarrassment, a shame. How would it be for the U.S.? Embarrassment, shame. So he doesn't have to cut ties with anybody. They need to cut ties with him, but yet they will not do it because they know this guy, he matters. He is powerful. He is very, very powerful. He matters. So Macron, Olaf, whatever, Scholz, German Chancellor, Joe Biden, maybe they're very, very strong, the economy very, very strong, but they do not want to mess up with him. Because this guy, he means business. Whatever he says, he will do. He will follow through it. So his obviously relationship with Putin is going to be much more stronger now. And of course, with that, his relationship with China will also become very, very strong. I am very passionate about this. Let's take a look.
Tabii iyi niyetimiz vardı ama iyi niyetimizi suistimal etti. İsrail'e gitme projemiz vardı. İptal. Eğer iyi niyetle devam etmiş olsaydı münasebetlerimiz farklı olabilirdi. Ama şimdi maalesef o da olmayacak. Çünkü iyi niyetimizi de bunlar suistimal ettiler. Her ne kadar.
Yeah. And basically Erdogan is saying, don't mess up with me. Don't think I'm a good guy. Don't think that we will not attack you. Don't think we are just sitting there and just talking the talk. Don't think that way. We are asking you. He is actually sending a challenge to Netanyahu. Do something. What are you going to do? I called your enemy as my friend, Hamas. By calling them Mujahid, he's basically saying they are my brothers and sisters, right? What are you going to do, Netanyahu? This